Dear friends, in today's class, we are going on discussing the nested structure in C. In last classes, we have discussed structure and its representation, how array of structure works with example, and in this class, we are going to discuss the nested structure in C. What is nested structure? As we have previously discussed, nested if means when one if is present within another if is known as your nested if. If one loop is present within another loop is known as your nested loop. If one switch statement is present within another switch statement is known as your nested switch. Like this, if one structure is declared within another structure is known as your nested structure. In two ways, the nested structure can be declared like structure name followed by structure name another structure variable means structure name is the parent structure main structure. Within this structure, if we declare another structure variable structure name structure variable, that is also known as your nested structure. In other way, we can declare that is structure name its element integer id character name, and before closing this structure, if we declare another structure within this structure name its element, then this structure gives rise to the concept of nested structure. The first example clarifies structure name its element to be declared another structure variable only will be declared here. Means before going to this structure parent structure outer structure, we have to take its a variable help followed by inner structure variable. Again I am repeating, suppose this is the main structure and this is the child structures variable which is declared within the main structure. Excluding taking or by without taking the parent structure or main structure variable, we cannot interact with the internal structure variable. Means first of all we have to take the help of a main structure variable followed by the inner structure variable. Similarly, here suppose the structure employee is the main structure, the inner structure is structure date. Without taking the employee variable, we cannot interact with the internal structure, that is your date variable. Means we have to take the help of your main structure, that is employee, followed by the date structure, the DOG. Means if we want to interact with the employee structure, then its variable is employee1, then we have to interact is employee1.id, employee1.name. But if we want to interact with the structure date, then we have to take the help of employee1, which is the variable of employee. Then the structure dates variable is dog, means we have to write employee1 dot dog dot dd, employee1 dot dog dot mm, employee1 dot dog dot yyyy. Means to take the help of internal structure, you have to take the help of your external structure. In these two ways, the nested structure can be defined. Let us take first example. We declare structure xx, its element is x. Then we declare another structure yy, its element is y, but the structure variable struct xx variable is declared within the struct yy. This gives rise to the concept of your nested structure. If we want to access or interact with the structure yy, its variable is q, we can interact as q dot y. But if we want to interact with the structure xx, then we have to take the help of structure yy variable, that is q, then structure xx variable is p, followed by structure xx element, that is your x, because structure xx variable is declared within another structure. Then the process in which we store the value, the process in that we have to access the value, that is the q dot p dot x as the q dot p dot x, because q is the variable of yy, p is the variable of xx, and its element is what? The x. Then you have to write q dot p dot x. But if you want to access the element of yy, then you can write q dot y, and hence the result will be 100 and 200. This line gives rise to the concept of what? The nested structure. If we want to run this program, then open online compiler, then copy your code or write your code, whatever possibility is there. Then suppose I copy this code because I have previously written and put it into the online compiler. Then I have to run this program. Put it to the online compiler, then run the program. The element will be 200 and 100 respectively. Then move to the next example. We declare structure employee, its element is ID name. Before concluding this structure, we declare another structure date, its element is dd mmyy. Date's structure variable is dog and employee structure variable is e1. Means when we interact employee's ID name, we have to write e1.id, e1.name. But while interacting the date structure element, then we have to write e1.dog.dd, e1.dog.mm, e1.dog.yyyy. Just you see e1.id name. e1.id means name means what? e1 is the variable of a main structure employee and id. e1.name means we have to store name. And in the name, you cannot write e1.name equal to snoojoel as a string. We have to copy it because string cannot be directly assigned. strcpy is the string function, and this is the variable structure variable u1.name means snoo.jaiswal as the string will be copied to here. And how the string copy works, it is defined in the header file string.h. If you don't include string.h, strcpy will not work. The work of string copy is to copy one string to the another string. Means here the string variable is u1 name and the string value is snoo.jaiswal. If we want to the element of date, then we have to take the help of employee structure variable e1, date structure variable dog followed by its element is dd. Means e1.dog.dd. e1 is the employee structure variable, dog is the date structure variable followed by its element is dd. Then in the similar way, we can write u1.dog.mm, u1.dog.yy. The process in which we store, in that process we have to assess it. We assess it u1.id, u1.name, then we assess u1.dog.dd, u1.dog.mm, u1.dog.yy. Why we have taken %d for integer, why we have taken %s for string, employee ID, employee name, employee date of joining, all are the constants. For user defined understanding, this messages is given because in printf part we can take the messages, format string and the number of variable. Then if you run the program, the output will be like this. Then if you want to run this program in online editor, then you copy this set of code which is previously written, otherwise you have to write, then move it to online compiler and run it. If you run the program, the output will be in the similar way what we are expected to be. In this way, we run nested structure by taking two syntax and two example. I think it is understandable to you. This is the completion of entire structure which includes structure, array of structure, nested structure. Then in the next class, we are going to provide the solution of the problems which was given to you in the loop, and another questions given to you in array that will be discussed in between the different sessions. And after the solution of loop questions, we will be starting the another user defined data type union and enum. I think today's session is understandable to you, essential to you. If you like this, kindly like it. Those are not subscribed, kindly subscribe. If anybody having clarification, please comment it. We are trying to provide every time the best feasible requirement to you. Thank you. See you in the next class.